Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 12, Strategies and Structures. So let's talk about some multinational strategies and structures. So one strategy is purely to go international for cost reduction, and we see that a lot in the mature manufacturing industries like Whirlpool, and where companies send their manufacturing overseas. So they're going over there for cost reduction. Another example is local responsiveness. They want a local market. Coke might be an example of that. Coke has several different, Coke is not the same in every country. There's probably 50 different varieties of Cokes and formulas specifically made for a specific country. So there's four strategies or choices, four broad general strategies or choices. First of all, you could just replicate what you do at home. That would be, duplicate exactly what you're going to take what's worked in the United States, and I'm going to duplicate that in another country, totally unchanged. The biggest advantage of that is it's very easy. I'm just duplicating what I have. The biggest disadvantage is it lacks any local responsiveness. There's nothing localized about it. I've just duplicated what works in the United States and said to the foreign country, you either adapt to the way we do things in the U.S. or, too bad. Second option is to have some localization, make it specific to the local market, okay? Now, the biggest advantage to this is it's going to maximize the local responsiveness. The locals are going to like it, right? The biggest disadvantage is that I now have lots of high costs, right? And I have lots of local autonomy to do whatever they want to do, which makes it more difficult to manage. Obviously, it's higher cost if I've got to have a different product, a different strategy for every single market I go into. The third strategy is to have, let's take and create one global standard. Let's sort of mix all of the different cultures together, and rather than just duplicate what I've done in the United States or make it specific for 20 different markets, I come up with one global standard for every country. The advantage of that is it's low cost because I've made it one, but it still lacks a lot of localization. For some products at work, but for several, like Coke, for example, the world might not like one standard taste of Coca-Cola. The fourth strategy is called transnational, and this is kind of a best of both worlds. This is where you say, where it makes sense for me and it's cost effective for me or the firm to localize, we will. Where it's not, we will not. It tends to be a mixture of cost effectiveness because I'm only going to localize where the market is large enough and profitable enough for me to do it. And it does allow for some local responsiveness. The difficulty is it becomes very complex and a little bit difficult to implement because you can imagine every market, as soon as you open up some degree of localization, every market is going to want some sort of localization. So those are the four: home replication, localization, one single global standard, and transnational. Now, there's organizational structures around this. I can have international divisions. I can be aligned by geography. I can have different regions. I can be aligned by product lines, so all the products report, or I can have some sort of matrix organization where people report to two different people. So I can be aligned geographically by regions. I can be aligned by product lines. I can be aligned by international divisions, or I can be aligned by some sort of matrix organization. And to me, what's going to determine the best way to organize is what works best for our customers. That's Chapter 12. Any questions, let me know. Have a great week.